Alright, I was asked to do a tutorial video on the Paul Weller song Amongst Butterflies. We don't say amongst in America, we say among. So that's one way to know if you're dealing with someone from England or someone from the US, but clearly Weller is English. So yeah, great song from 1992. Geez man, that's like nearly 30 years ago already, that first introducing Paul Weller LP. Great LP. And this is a really cool song off that LP. A lot of different versions of it. The one I did was the one off of Days of Speed. Yes, from the lyric from That's Entertainment, right? And I'll show you how I did that. So I just played the introduction, but let's just dive right into the song. And I'm not going to play the whole song all the way through once. I'm assuming if you're watching this, you already know how the song goes. So we'll just proceed from there. We begin here at the 7th fret, barring the top 3 strings, or the bottom 3 strings, top and pitch. And then at the 9th at the D string, and you're going to play this open A, but you're just going to strike, you know, chord, chord, and then into the opening. Now this song is actually important to palm mute, okay, to get it clean sounding. So we're going to go from the 7th, same chord shape, to the 9th. And then you jump into this shape here, which is the most important shape for the song because it's the signature riff. And it's a bit of a gymnastic act, but it's definitely doable. And once you get your hand used to doing this shape, it's a really cool chord shape to do because it's movable up and down the neck. Obviously, it's what Weller used in this song. So the way I do that is here at the 10th fret, bar the highest 2 strings, so the B and E. At the 9th fret, use your index finger to catch the G string, okay? So you've got that going. And then with your thumb, wrap around and catch the low E at the 8th. So this is kind of the chord. Only we're not going to do the chord, we're going to pluck it. So this is your bass note. Does that make sense? So the whole way down, you've got this shape. You're going to arpeggio with your high notes while you keep your bass note pumping. So here's how this is going to go, and I think it sounds best if you can, as closely as possible, match your thumb pluck to each note you play with your fingers. But then one of the things Weller does to increase interest is he does a little syncopated beat there as he's doing this cascading down the neck. So again, here's how we're going to start on the first chord here at the 8th, 9th, and 10th frets in this shape. Slide it down 1. Slide it down 1 again. So a little syncopation there. So let's jump back up here and try that one more time, nice and slow. Hopefully you could follow that. And then the next thing he jumps into is a hammer-on chord. Here at the 5th, you're going to bar the G, B, and E with your index finger. At the 7th, you're going to catch the D. Okay, so you've got this shape. But you drop in here on the G string with your middle finger. So you hear that hammer on. And the open A, of course. Practice that a few times. Then he rides that chord back up the neck. See if I can get the A nice and clean. And then you want to shut everything up with your hand because you're going to do the cascade down again. And if you don't shut it up with your hand, you're going to have a bunch of humming and still resonating strings that you don't want. So again, we end the run here. So we're just skipping from the 5th to the 7th to the 9th with the same shape after the hammer on. Shut everything up. Then we're right back here again. So you do that twice, and this is all the introduction, and here's the little wind-up ditty that he does before he jumps into the verse. So we're here at the 7th fret, and I kind of bar it, but I make sure to catch the A string at the 7th because I'm going to hammer on, and then so that's all on the A string. Then it's D string. Then D hammer on and pull off. Back to the A string at the 7th, or at the 9th, pardon me. It's always nice if you can add a little vibrato. These are very thick jazz strings, 13 gauge, so they're very hard to bend. But that's what he does to wind up. So if we were to do the whole intro again, a little more up to speed, but not entirely. Pretty cool, right? That's some good songwriting on Weller's part. Okay, so now we're ready to jump into the verse. And the verse is a little more straightforward. So we're going to start here with a bar chord at the 5th fret, and then your fingers are in an E shape. And let me play the verse through if I can remember it, and then we'll break it down. And by the way, you can see I'm not using a pick here because, you know, I've got a finger pick, and then I just kind of strum with my thumb, right? If I use my fingernail, I get a much brighter, sharper sound. And for this song, most of the time I'm going to want it soft. So here's how the verse goes. Okay, so let's break that down. We're here at the 5th fret, E shape, where he starts to sing. Sunny sand we ran along, every day began upon. Okay, so that is the 7th fret bar, and you're just catching the A string at the 9th. Then he quickly jumps down here to the 2nd fret, same shape. So 2nd fret bar, A string at the 4th. Next chord is a really cool one here, same bar, but you're catching the D and the B string, so a little opening there in your fingers. And then with your pinky you're going to lift off and hammer on a little bit. You hear that? Then we jump right back up here to the 9th, the 7th fret again in that same shape. Then we go to my favorite chord shape in the whole song, which is here at the 7th. Alright, how do we do that? Well, here's what I do. And I've got strange fingers. All our fingers are unique, so let's see if you can do this. So at the 7th, I compress the G, B, and E with my ring finger. With my index finger, I catch the D string at the 6th. And then back at the 7th, I catch the A string with my middle finger. So this is the chord I've got. That's a wonderful chord, because again, it's movable. Right, up and down the neck, but here we are at the 7th and the 6th. So here we were, let's see. Back down here to the 2nd. Then he finishes the run with this same chord that I just showed you. With some grace notes here at the 9th, at the 8th, and then at the 8th on the B string. Whoops. So open. So 9, 8, open, and then on the B string, 8th fret. It's kind of his turnaround chord. And then he goes back into the, this stuff. Okay, so that's the 1st and the 2nd verse. What I need to show you now is kind of the sub-chorus, where he sings butterflies, 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 right? He's, let's see, where does that come? After the 2nd verse? Okay. Then he jumps down here and does some really cool stuff. And let's see if I can... So what am I doing there? This is that little sub-chorus. We're here at the 2nd fret, and we're kind of doing a wraparound chord. Weller likes to do this particular chord shape a lot in a bunch of different songs. But the way he does it here is we're at the 2nd fret, and we're going to fret out the G, B, and E with our index finger, and then we're going to wrap around and catch the low E and maybe even the A at the 2nd with the thumb. Isn't that a beautiful chord? So if you just get the E, it's not as bad, but if you can grab the A too with your thumb, you get... Then this chord here is kind of a interesting one here that he juxtaposes that other one with. Here's the shape. I guess you can play that open A string with it if you want. It's a bit of a gymnastic chord, but here's how it looks. We are at the 4th fret on the D string. We are at the 5th fret on the B string. We are at the 6th fret on the G string. And we are at the 7th fret on the high E with your pinky. Nice chord. And then again he jumps back down here. Butterflies. Then back up here. So what you do there is you're doing this shape here. And then you want to slide it up here to the 7 and 9. And while you slide, you want to change shapes a little bit. So what we've got there is another wraparound at the 7th, but the important note here is the 9th at the high E. So again, we're here. Okay, then we're back here for one more round. Then we go. So all we do there is we move the high E string from the 7th to the 6th. And you shift your index finger from the D string to the A to really make it sound right. And that turns us around, so to speak, and we can jump right back into the verse. Yeah, then there was the God was there amongst it, felt his whisper as a summer breeze. So after he goes here, he simply moves down one string, so the D string. Then we're back up here. To end off the song, we're back to the down the neck with the butterflies. The last time through, I think he kind of changes the rhythm a little bit and does something like this. Slows down, and then the last chord of the song where he says butterflies, and he ends the song. We do that really cool shape that I showed you, but we're up here at the 12th. So that's the barring the G, B, and E at the 12, catching the D string at the 11, and barring the catching the A string at the 12. For the big finish, right? But then he comes up to the 14th with his pinky. And then down the neck and finished. That's Butterflies. I hope that wasn't too disjointed for you. But those are all the chord shapes. And if you know how the song goes, learn those chord shapes, those progressions, put them together, and you can play this song. And then try to lay vocal over it, and it'll begin to give you an appreciation for just how good a musician Paul Weller was to create this stuff and to sing over the top of it as well as he did. So enjoy that.